gentlemen, welcome to, it says Johnny on his name tag there, but his professional title is Dr. Jonathan Bloomfield from Support to Perform, and he's here today to talk to us about employee well-being and creating healthy habits for 2021. So, welcome, Johnny. Take it away.
Thanks, Turan. Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you for the kind intro there, Turan, and great to hear everyone's elevator pitches. It's great to see such diversity in the group and such energy as well. So and thanks very much for both Turan and Denise for inviting me along and giving me a little slot here to chat to everybody. So as you've been made aware, my name is Dr. Johnny Bloomfield, and I'm the owner of Support to Perform. It's a consultancy business which I formed after a career in sports science at elite sport. So when I broke away from employment, I went into self-employment and focused mainly on the sports industry, and did a lot of different projects with elite teams for a period, but also kind of looked closer to home and not having a giant professional sports market on the doorstep. I started looking at corporate life and corporate health and well-being, and eventually made a bit of a pivot through an opportunity through the health service, in fact, and from there it's grown from servicing professionals in the health service through to private industries, and one of my sort of key clients would be Graham Construction. Have passed me a lot of work and have given me fantastic opportunities over the last number of years. So I guess my passion is about helping people, helping teams, and helping entire organizations to really transform their culture and enhance their employee well-being, and therefore and also make them more resilient, and therefore increase their productivity and performance output. So try to make places great businesses great places to work, attracting top talent and retaining that talent as well. So but today I was asked, because it's January, start of a new year, start of hopefully a more enjoyable year than maybe last year was for many of us, and our focus today is a little bit about health and healthy habits. So my first question is, how's it going? How are you? And are you currently investing in your own health? Think about your health is the most prized possession you'll ever own, and you'll only ever own it once, really. So it's one of those things that we kind of take for granted and let alone until something negative or something terrible happens to it, then we put a lot of focus on it. But the question mark here is, are you investing in your own health at this moment? And I've come up with a silly equation. Investing in your health requires time. It requires putting time into your health, and then also requires effort. So you can set time aside for your health, but if you don't sort of put any effort into it when you've set that time aside, your health doesn't necessarily improve. And then if we divide it all by balance. Balance is really, really key here. Is we've got to balance everything out. Think of ourselves, business owners, operating our businesses. How much time are we investing in our business? Because the more time we're doing that, the less time we have available for other things, for our own health, and for kind of the other things that we have to invest our time into. So if we don't get our timing right, we lopside it so that we're investing more time into something than investing less time into something else. And then, of course, the whole idea of balance in terms of decision making and choices. Are you making more good choices than bad choices? The idea of perfection is a complete flaw, so that's not balance either. We have to embrace imperfection. So it's all about life of moderation. So are we eating healthily most of the time? Are we being active or investing in all the areas of our health that we're going to look at in a minute? Most of the time, or a suitable and adequate amount of time. And of course, this is going to lead us to a life, to living well, to living longer, to having more quality of life, to having more quality of life for longer. So really, it's a bit like Turan said a moment ago about pensions. Don't wait until a health event forces you into taking investing in your health. So today's the day. If you're not doing it, today's the day you start. Okay, so it's quite well documented that there are divisions of health, and this is one for one question I have, and you can use the chat box for this. What is the difference between health, wellness, and well-being? What do those three terms mean to you? What's the first image you think of? What's the first? What do you imagine? What do you see when you hear those three terms? Are they all the same, or are they all different? What does it mean? I'm really curious to find out. So if you can start maybe populating the chat box, I'm going to be really interested in reading that when we're done. But I'm going to just hang this on elements of health. So we've got physical health, mental health, emotional health, social health, but we also have physical well-being, we have mental wellness, well-being, emotional well. So, but every one of these, we have a health. I kind of maybe think of health as being a status, like where are you at in this moment? That's your health, perhaps. You know, it might be, health might be your behavior. So are you doing healthy behaviors? And health might be also an outcome of those healthy behaviors. So it's all kind of goes around on a wheel. But as you can see, we've got a lot of different elements of our health to focus on, and we have to be cautious not to focus all our attention on maybe one or two of these elements and neglect the others. We need to get that balance. Then, of course, we've got Maslow's hierarchy of needs to consider. Now, this is probably why our health and our well-being's maybe been quite compromised in lockdown, because, you know, when the world is open and everything is available and free to us, we're all trying to hit the top of this pinnacle. So kind of the bottom stuff is very easy to take care of. You know, we've got safety, security, we've got, you know, food and shelter. And then we kind of work a little bit more maybe on those relationships, maybe they're family, maybe it's business relationships. It's being in a network is an example of, you know, trying to develop that sense of connection. And then you grow your business, you start to gain success, you're entering into esteem, and then you're really performing and succeeding. You're hitting that self-actualization. You're living your best life. So at the minute, many of this has been compromised, and that's why well-being's probably taken a dent, or health even's taken a dent. But ultimately, you know, where lockdown focuses on, all we need to really focus on is that bottom layer. As long as we've got survival and safety, then we can keep going in a compromised state for a while, but eventually things will return to normal. So, question for you guys, just, you know, start off with, I mentioned their health is a status. How is your health status? Where are you at currently with your health? When was the last time you went for a health check, or you had a measurement taken that informed you about your health? And you know, guys in particular, we're very, very good at not going to the doctor. We're very good at ignoring things. Something that's a 3 out of 10, we wait until it's 8 out of 10 before we seek a medical attention. And unfortunately, every medic I've spoken to has said, if they only came when they were 3 out of 10, we could have done something. So little things grow into bigger things. Don't leave it too late again if something like that is on your mind. You know, so one thing that I offer as part of my services is a remote health check. So because it's not, I mean, I wouldn't feel particularly comfortable going to a waiting room at a GP at this moment in time if I didn't need to be there just for a health check. So I run a service where I can send you a health check through the post. You can take your own blood sample through a fingertip, and you'll get a full health screening, very, very detailed, reviewed by a GP and fed back to by a dietitian with a consultation. And then I use that's as a platform to kind of springboard into health improvement, health promotion. So we start with a measurement and move forward from there. Another one that's probably been my most successful service over the years has been this idea of a lifestyle assessment. Our heart can tell us a whole load of things around how we're coping with our environment, and again, how balanced we are. So I give you a little device to wear for 5 days and nights, and it tells me all about your physical activity, your stress levels, and the quality of sleep that you're getting. And these sort of, you see in the chart in the bottom, the reds, the greens, and the blues, and are they Are they looking in balance, or is there an imbalance there? A shift? Is there a behavior change necessary? And this is really taking a deep dive into your own physiology. So that's just a little, probably my elevator pitch is just two of my services there that are available. Now I'm going to switch back to healthy habits mode. Have you all come across the idea that's promoted by public health agency about these 5 steps to well-being? Again, interchangeable word. Is it health, wellness, well-being? I don't necessarily know if it really matters, but the promotion here, and they kind of have reshaped this and tweaked it a little bit so that it's COVID relevant or lockdown relevant. So these are simple, very effective messages. They're very behavior orientated, and they are based on solid evidence, which, you know, if you're kind of encouraged to build and have variety across your days and across, you know, your daily lives. And they draw on a wealth of psychological and economic literature from a lot of interdisciplinary type work and areas. And if you engage in these Take 5 steps, you can enhance your life expectancy by 7.5 years. In fact, again, not waiting to do it, it's starting to do it right now. And they're simple steps. And its evidence also indicates that individuals who practice all 5 steps have the highest level of well-being, regardless of their personal circumstances, where they sit on that Maslow's hierarchy. So let's take a little closer look at them. So connect first. So connecting with people around you, family, friends, colleagues, neighbors, at home, at work, at school, or in your local community. So this is probably one I struggle with most, because I kind of like being in my bubble. I like just having a small circle to deal with. I communicate really well with them, but I'm not brilliant at sort of being the socialite and the sort of the champion marketeer that I need to be. But this is an area that I probably could improve on myself. But you know, think of these. They say, think of these as cornerstones of your life, and investing time in developing them. You know, building these connections support and enrich you every day. So it's great to actually commit. Remember back to the first slide, commit your time, then your effort into things like a network. You know, it's good for you, even if it doesn't necessarily increase your business, but it's good for you because it's increasing your network. Next then is on the list was give. You know, do something nice for a friend or a stranger, which costs you nothing, obviously. You know, thank someone, smile, volunteer your time, and consider joining a community group. Support, you know, lend your talent or your expertise to a group to support them. Look out as well as in. Seeing yourself and your happiness linked to the wider community can be incredibly rewarding and creates connections with people around you. Simple stuff. Think of others ahead of yourself. And commit your time and your effort into doing that. Thirdly, then, taking notice. So, you know, we as business owners, we are in a very fast-paced, relentless, environment, and we got to slow down. We got to stop. We got to pause. And we got to take a moment to look around ourselves. So, what you can see, you feel, you smell, or even taste, and you know, this is that idea of mindfulness or meditation or even prayers, a useful way of just stopping, slowing, taking notice, and also giving thanks. So look out for beautiful, new, unusual, or extraordinary things in your everyday life and think about how that makes you feel. Learning. So we heard earlier, stress is on the rise. So it was already peaking before biggest cause of illness in the workplace, but it is risen due to the uncertainty and the compromises we've had to make. But learning is actually seen as one of the most productive stress buffers that we can have. If you feel you're making progress in a stressful situation, you feel it's worth the stress. It's worthwhile. It's a positive source of stress. You have that stress is enhancing style mindset. So don't be afraid to try something new. Step a little bit out of your comfort zone sometimes. Go back to your rediscovering an old hobby or sign up for a new course. Take on different responsibilities. Try and fix a bike if you've ever done so before. Learn to play an instrument, how to cook your favorite food, set a challenge that you will enjoy, learn new things. because it will make you more confident as well as being fun. And finally, kind of this is my main area, and this is one I'm going to expand on a little bit more as I talk this morning, is getting outdoors where you can, following the government guidelines, and going for that walk, that run, that cycle, that play a game, garden or dance. So that there's huge value in stepping outdoors, huge value in fresh air, huge value in sort of daylight as well, to keep your biorhythm in check. An article I wrote for the Northern Ireland Safety Group just last week was the concept of fake commuting. So we used to have this time in our day where we could have alone time in the car to travel, to think, to kind of prepare your mind, and then the same on the way back, where you would turn from work mode back to home mode. But because we're only moving from one room to the other, there's very those two opportunities have gone. So why not try a fake commute, whereby you leave your front door 10 to 9 and go for a 10-minute walk just to get the mind ready, to get a little bit of blood flow, and to get some fresh air and some daylight to start your day, and almost have that arrive at work. It might just be your front door you're doing it at, but you have that mentality, right? This is where work starts, and you go to your workplace. And the same, maybe try and get out for lunchtime walk, coordinate your walk, some of your meetings, your phone call meetings with walking. Fantastic way to double up, to make better use of your time. But also then, have that fake commute on the way back home, at 10 to 5, leave work, go for a walk, download the day, and then come back in and be dad again or be mum again. At that point, it's 2 10-minute spells which will contribute to your activity minutes. So, but the key thing is discover a physical activity that you enjoy and is sustainable and doable across 4 seasons in Northern Ireland, so that you don't have this huge hole in your year where you're doing nothing because you can't get out on the bike anymore or do your favorite activity. And then, of course, one that suits your mobility and your fitness, and so it's sustainable and effortless. Okay, so then why do it? So there's great benefits to being physically active. So you've got your heart health, you've got reduced risk of obesity and related diseases, you've got improved musculoskeletal health, reduced risk of mental health conditions, reduced risk of certain cancers. Now, if exercise was a pill, it would be the most oversubscribed drug in the world, because it does all of these things all at the same time, all together, and in greater benefits than any medical prescription you can receive for any single one of them. It really is a wonder drug that everyone should be investing time and effort into. So how much time and how much effort? So the World Health Organization will give us physical activity guidelines, and the first thing is you need to be targeting 150 minutes of moderate level activity across your 7 days in the week. So that's roughly 30 minutes a day for 5 days of the week at moderate level. And the moderate should feel like you should notice an effort. So going for a walk, a light walk, might not qualify as the moderate effort. You need to kind of notice a little bit of breathing and notice a little bit of heart rate increase. It doesn't. The technical term is you can no longer sing. So that's the level of effort. You can shortcut that a little bit by introducing vigorous activity. So for every minute of vigorous, that's worth 2 moderate. So you can more effort, less time, and you get greater benefits and rewards for doing more vigorous activity. So obviously it needs to be person specific, person appropriate. But the more effort you can put in, the more return you'll get back out. And then there's a gap. Always the one that people miss out is we have to take care of our muscles and our bones as well. So any sort of resistance type training, body weight exercises, yoga, Pilates, these are examples whereby you're focusing on increasing bone density and muscular strength. These need to be done twice a week as well. You can combine the two, obviously, by the choice of exercise. But this is our target, our weekly target. But what is the key? The key is obviously then finding that something you enjoy, because that's the driver will be motivation. So if you enjoy it, you don't need to find too much motivation to go and do it. If you hate it, it's not going to last very long. Then try to become accountable. We all set business goals. Try and set yourself physical activity goals as well. So set a target, and declare that. Try and announce it. Say, this is what I'm trying to do, and to your friends, family, circle, friend, or social media. Say, this is what my intention is for this month, this year. And another great way to do it is try and charity raise as well, because that guarantees your accountability. Then track and monitor it. So the more evidence based, you can see earlier, I'd like to create data drive my interventions. So if you can record and monitor what you do somehow, that will also bring you a level of accountability. Joining a challenge also helps to increase your motivation. I'll mention challenge before I leave again. And then just think of the wider benefits, the social, the mental health benefits, stress control, better sleep, more sustainable energy throughout the day, longer living, feeling better. There's, all those other benefits you get from doing enjoyable exercise. Pause, think these three things through. If there's something that you're doing that's not working for you, stop. Something that you're doing that you want to continue doing, keep doing that. And today, if there's something that you haven't been doing for a while, let's think about start doing that. Think of that as your moment in 2021. What are you going to stop, keep, and start doing? Maybe think about across all 5 of the Take 5 components, not necessarily just the physical activity. Okay, if I'm allowed to, I'll just going to tell you a tiny little story. So one of my consultancy projects with Graham Construction back in 2019 was to come up with a physical challenge for their business. Now, they have got a wide range of people, some very, very fit athletes who are very competitive at one end of the spectrum, and some very sedentary style workers on the other side. So they've engaged in like the traditional step-based challenges that are on the market at the minute, and found that it really did not land well with their staff, and they provided me with a long list of reasons why it was unsuccessful, and asked me to create something completely different that was much more appealing to all members of staff. So it was fully inclusive, and it provided a level playing field. So I created a 100-day challenge that I rolled out to them last summer. And then I've taken that forward into 3 more versions since. So through 2020, I was working remotely as a challenge coordinator. I know 1 or 2 of you took part in this in my recent one between September and December. So I've had a whole year of kind of design and development that I've done to build this concept. It's all based on activities, so people are free to do what activities they want, and then there's a point scoring system behind that. I'm moving now into 2021 and into kind of developing a tech company, because this opportunity has really started to take off for me. I've a major order from a multinational firm. So at the minute, the MVP that I created is now under full rebuild, and I've been through Design Active Design Forward to Invest in I programs around brand development. So the branding is just about there. Towards any day now, we're going to have the brand ready. And the program is set to be available again end of March. So I should be going into a sales mode between February, March to promote my new challenge. And I'm really excited about that. The major company is going to take this to 42 countries. And there's quite a few thousand staff that are already signed up. So I'm very excited about that future direction for me. So kind of watch this space. My final one is back to the room. I'm going to finish by saying I've come across a way of a mindset, a mentality that I would like to share with everyone just as my final shot. And it's about trying to focus on what is going well for you. What is what are your key strengths as a person, as opposed to your skills or your talents or your expertise or the resources you have? I come across this piece of research in positive psychology, and they've identified 24 character strengths. I hear the word resilience a lot. I hear the word character a lot in the world of work. And I was always curious to know, well, what is character? So when I did some background reading on the science of character, psychologists have done a huge amount of work to discover and develop and sort of agree on every human being has these 24 strengths, and they're all good, and they're all excellent qualities that we have, and we should try to tap into all 24 strengths on as frequent basis as we possibly can. But we have them. We all are different people, and we all have them in different orders. So we can order them between 1 and 24. And the ones that are in the top 5 are the ones that you'll find very easy and natural to you. And the research is showing that if you can tap into those top 5 strengths that you possess and kind of live them daily and find new ways to discover how to use those new strengths, then your well-being is increased and can last for months and months and months if you live and develop those top strengths of yours. So mine are creativity, curiosity, judgment, and then love and honesty. So I love creativity. I feel like whenever I'm developing new things, when I'm problem solving, when I'm thinking and making choices, that's what I feel I'm really in the zone and love doing. So the more type of work and I can engage in that, the better I feel about what I'm doing. So I've got a QR code at the bottom there. If you want a free assessment on what are your 24 strengths, just scan your phone camera at that QR code, and then it'll take you to an online form. The assessment takes about 10 minutes to complete, and then you get a free report. And if you want to discuss it with me, I'm more than happy to do so at another day. But that's my last parting shot for living life in 2021. Try and live a life of strengths. Don't focus on what's going wrong and what are all your weaknesses and how to improve. Think about what's going well, what am I good at, and do more. Thank you.